This is Padmashini from EEE department. Now I am going to give lecture about Maxwell's equation and Poynting theorem in electromagnetic theory. Maxwell's equation and Poynting theorem. Actually Poynting theorem is derived from the Maxwell's equation. Maxwell's equation, Maxwell is a scientist, he derived the equation from Ampere's law, Faraday's law and the Gauss law. So what he did is he separates electric field as well as the because already we had the equation Ampere's law, Faraday's law and Gauss law. He separated the equation, one for two equations for electric field and two equations for magnetic field. So how he separates it? For electric field we are having Gauss law, for magnetic field also we are having the Gauss law. So the first thing will be Gauss law for electric field. So Gauss law for electric field means Gauss law for electric field, so which is equal to del dot D, which is equal to rho. D means the electric flux density. Then the same Gauss law for magnetic field. So del dot B, which is equal to 0. So before going to the electric field and the magnetic field, what is actually electric field and what is magnetic field means? Electric field means if a charge is stationary, around the charge we are having the electric field, and if the charge is in motion, example means if current flow is there, so the charge will be in motion, at that time we are having the magnetic field. So magnetic field for Gauss law, under the magnetic field del dot B, which is equal to 0, for electric field del dot D, which is equal to rho. Then the Faraday's law, and finally the Ampere's circuital law. So this is the familiar equation, the Ampere's law. Ampere's law means H dot dl equal to I. What it means is, if you are having a current flowing through the conductor, around the conductor the magnetic field will be there. So that is explained by Ampere's law. So H dot dl equal to I, but that won't be work for time varying magnetic fields. Why? Because means if you are going to derive the Poynting theorem, it's actually mean for a wave. Wave means a time varying field, time varying electromagnetic field. So Maxwell, what he did is he modified the Ampere's law. So under Maxwell's equation, the Ampere's law can be called as the modified Ampere's law. So this is modified Ampere's law, Faraday's law. So Faraday's law can be, this will be Ampere's law is del cross H, which is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. And here del cross H, which is equal to minus dou B divided by dou T. Del cross E, which is equal to minus dou B divided by dou T. So these are all the four laws derived by, which are called as the Maxwell's equation, and it can be named as Maxwell's first equation, second equation, third equation and the fourth equation. These are all the very basic equations for electromagnetic waves. So in a wave we are having both the electric as well as the magnetic field. So only for deriving the Poynting theorem, it is mean for wave. So only I derive the Maxwell's equation. Initially we have to take the Maxwell's equation, and from the Maxwell's equation only we are going to derive the Poynting theorem. And again Maxwell's, what he did is he used the law, he used all these equations both in differential form as well as the integral form. That can be easier for doing the calculation. So these things are only in the differential form. For Poynting theorem, differential form is enough. So we derive the four equations, we took upon the four equations and we are going to derive the Poynting theorem. For that one, Poynting theorem, it is actually a wave. Wave means which is having both the electric as well as the magnetic field. Electric field means H, that is the electric field intensity, and H be the magnetic field intensity. So we are going to find out the power. Why we are deriving this Poynting theorem means, if you are having a wave and if the wave is propagating, if you are sending the wave from one place to another, some amount of energy will be wasted as losses. So if you are sending the wave from A to a point B, what will happen means the wave will be traveling from A to B. So on the travel, some amount of energy will be losses and the remaining will be given to the B portion. So what will happen means we are having the losses, so we have to find out how much amount of energy will be transferred to the B section. That can be derived with the help of the Poynting theorem. So for that one, for deriving the Poynting theorem, we are utilizing the Maxwell's equation. So consider the Maxwell's equation, write this one, that modified Ampere's law. So modified Ampere's law will be del cross H, which is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. So this is the first step for deriving the Poynting theorem. So why this is known as Poynting theorem means actually Poynting is a scientist, he derived in the year 1884. In the year 1884 he derived this equation, and he found out if a wave is travelling from one place to another, some amount of energy will be lost and the remaining energy will be reaching the destination. So only he derived the equation with the help of the Maxwell's equation. So del cross H, which is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. What is this J? J will be the conduction current and D will be the displacement current. So in a conductor we are having both the displacement as well as the conduction current. So taking this equation, then we have to find out the dot product. In electromagnetic theory we are having using the dot as well as the cross product. So take the dot product of this equation, we can name this equation as 1. Take the dot product, so E dot del cross H, which is equal to, so use the dot product in all the terms. So E dot del cross H, which is equal to E dot J plus this dou D divided by dou T. D means actually it is electric flux density. That D can be written as epsilon into E in terms of electric field intensity. So you write the equation epsilon into dou E dot E divided by dou T. This is the first step in deriving the Poynting theorem. So write the Maxwell's equation, that is the modified Ampere's law, del cross H is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. Then find out the dot product of the above, the first equation. So E dot del cross H is equal to this term. Then we can use, if two vector fields are there, here we are having two vector fields, E is also a vector field, electric field intensity, then H, the magnetic field intensity, is also a vector field. So if you are having two vector fields, that can be written as, so del dot E cross H, this can be written as, which is equal to H dot del cross E minus E dot del cross H. So del dot E cross H, which is equal to H dot del cross E minus E dot del cross H. So we are having the equation del cross E is here, then del cross H is there. So based on this equation we are going to modify the above equation. You see here E dot del cross H. So we have to write the term D dot del cross H. This can be written as, so in the next step E dot del cross H can be written as, which is equal to H dot del cross E minus del dot E cross H. E dot del cross H, which is equal to H dot del cross E minus del dot E cross H. So in this equation you name this equation as 2 and the second equation can be modified as, so in the place of E dot del cross H we can use H dot del cross E minus del dot E cross H, which is equal to E dot J plus epsilon into dou E dot E divided by dou T. So in the next step what we are doing is, we have to find out del cross E. We already know that is the Faraday's law. So you substitute here in the place of del cross E, we can write H dot minus dou B divided by dou T. Okay. So H dot del cross E means here del cross E is there. So del cross E, which is equal to minus dou B by dou T. So in the place of del cross E we are substituting minus dou B by dou T, H dot this value minus del dot E cross H, which is equal to E dot J plus epsilon into dou E dot E divided by dou T. Okay. The next thing, so here what is B? B is actually magnetic flux density. So this B can be written as, we are having here electric flux density. Electric flux density can be written in terms of electric field intensity. So D, which is equal to epsilon into E. Similarly, B can be written as mu into H. So in this equation we can write, so consider this equation, H dot minus dou B by dou T minus del dot E cross H, which is equal to E dot J plus epsilon dou E dot D E divided by dou T. So in this equation we know B means that is the magnetic flux density. B means that is the magnetic flux density. So that magnetic flux density can be written in terms of magnetic field intensity. So B, which is equal to mu into H. So in the place of B you substitute mu into H. So H dot, or otherwise we can write like this, minus dou H dot H mu minus mu dou H dot H divided by dou T minus del dot E cross H, which is equal to E dot J plus epsilon into dou E dot E divided by dou T. So this is the equation. So from this equation what we are doing is, here the value will be, the expression will be minus mu dou H dot H divided by dou T. So this equation can be written as minus mu divided by 2 dou H square divided by dou T. The expression can be written like this. So minus del dot E cross H, which is equal to E dot J. So similarly this equation, if you see epsilon dou E dot E divided by dou T. So this can be written as epsilon by 2 dou E square divided by dou T. So at last we have to, so you keep this one. So our equation can be written as minus del dot E cross H can be written as, which is equal to E dot J plus epsilon by 2 dou E square divided by dou T, here plus minus. So here if it comes to the right hand side means that should be written as plus. So plus mu by 2 dou H square divided by dou T. This is your equation, minus del dot this equation. So in the next step you multiply by negative sign. So del dot E cross H, which is equal to E dot minus E dot J minus epsilon by 2 dou E square divided by dou T minus mu by 2 dou H square divided by dou T. So the next step what we are doing is, Poynting theorem means it is actually a cross product of electric field as well as the magnetic field. So here you are having del dot E cross H. So how to eliminate this del dot means we are using the divergence theorem. So now call upon the divergence theorem. You take the divergence theorem. What is actually a divergence theorem? Divergence theorem means integral of del dot ds, which is equal to d. So this is the divergence theorem. So using this one we are writing this equation as, the same equation can be written as integral of E cross H into ds, which is equal to minus E dot J. All the terms will be in terms of volume. So minus 1 by 2 into integral of epsilon dou E square divided by dou T plus mu dou H square divided by dou T. So this is the final expression for Poynting theorem, E cross H dot ds, which is equal to integral of minus E dot J minus 1 by 2 into integral of epsilon dou E square divided by dou T plus mu dou H square divided by dou T. This is the Poynting theorem. This is the expression for Poynting theorem, which speaks about the cross product of the electric field and the magnetic field will be equal to, what is this one, half into epsilon dou E square divided by dou T plus half mu dou H square divided by dou T. This is actually the energy stored in the electric as well as the magnetic field, because while starting itself I told for Poynting theorem, which is meant for wave. In the wave we are having both the electric field as well as the magnetic field. So in the expression also we are deriving the wave, the Poynting theorem is having both the electric field as well as the magnetic field, that is the energy stored in the magnetic field. So whenever a wave is traveling, so it should reach the destination. Not all the points are reaching the destination, some amount of losses will be there. So that can be explained with the help of the Poynting theorem. So we are having the electric field as well as the magnetic field, the cross product minus this one equal to minus integral of E dot j minus 1 by 2, this expression which is the energy stored in the magnetic field as well as the electric field, minus E dot j. What is this integral of E dot j? E means electric field. What is this J? That is the current density. Current density means current divided by area. So what it tells is the Poynting theorem, if a wave is traveling from one point to another, the amount of energy transferred, some amount of energy will be transferred to the destination where the losses are there. And if you see the transmission side or at the sending end, there is if time goes on, what will happens means there is a decrease in the energy. So only in the two terms we are having the negative symbol. Actually it is the wave is having both electric as well as the magnetic field. When it is traveling and reaching the destination, what will happen? The amount of energy stored in the wave, the energy stored here in the transmission side, it keeps on decreasing. So only we are having the negative symbol. That is explained by the Poynting theorem. So in the Poynting theorem we are having this E dot j. E dot j means that is the current density. So we know that what is the ohmic losses. Losses means it can be written as either I square R or V into I, or I square R or V square by R. Either of the three terms we can use for explaining the losses. So in this expression if you see means we are talking about the wave, and the wave is having the ohmic losses. Ohmic losses means particularly that is related with the electric field. So which is having the electric field intensity E value, then instead of I we are having the current density. So instead of I we are having the current density E dot j. So E dot j means the losses coming out from the wave when it is traveling from one place to another. So these are all the things all about the Poynting theorem. So when a wave is actually Poynting theorem is explained from the Maxwell's equation. Maxwell's derived the equation from Ampere's law, Faraday's law and the Gauss law. Okay, then what he suggests is if a wave is traveling, definitely there will be losses will be there, and if time keeps on going means what will happens means the energy from the wave it's keep on decreasing. So only we are having the negative symbol here in the final expression. So Poynting theorem E cross H, this Poynting theorem can be expressed as P vector, Poynting vector. This one is Poynting theorem, and the Poynting vector P can be expressed as P which is equal to E cross H. That is the cross product of the electric field as well as the magnetic field. So this Poynting vector can be expressed, the unit of point vector is watt per meter square. Watt per meter square. This is the unit of the Poynting vector. So first deriving the Poynting theorem from the Maxwell's equation, I told that is that we are taking the equation from the modified Ampere's law. What is actually Ampere's law? Why we are calling this as the modified Ampere's law? Because our Ampere's law is H dot dl which is equal to I. H dot dl equal to I means if you are having a conductor and current is passing through the conductor, around the conductor we are having the magnetic field. Around the conductor we are having the magnetic field. The direction of current can be determined with the help of the corkscrew rule. So using that one we can find out the direction of the magnetic field. So in the Ampere's law, H dot dl which is equal to I. But we are calling in the Maxwell's equation the same law can be called as the modified Ampere's law. So what we are doing is the current is not only a single current, it is actually a current density. So current density means we are having the current density due to the Jc, the conduction current density Jc plus the displacement current density Jd. So the Jc can be written as sigma into E, and the displacement current density can be written as dou D divided by dou T. So displacement current and conduction current, when it comes means if the conductor is having only the resistance value, so we are having at that time we are having the conduction current, and if there is any displacement effect means which is mean with the capacitance effect. So capacitance effect is there means we are having the displacement current density. So only the Ampere's law can be modified as, can be called as the modified Ampere's law. Instead of using the current equation or the current term, we are using the current density term. So the same H dot dl can be written as H dot dl, which is equal to I. Instead of I, we are having Jc plus Jd. So Jc means conduction current density, that is related with the resistance, and the displacement current density means that is related with the capacitance effect. So sigma E plus dou D divided by dt. Again we know that what is D? D be the electric flux density. So that can be written as epsilon into E. So here also if you see means sigma means that is related with conduction. So epsilon means that is related with permittivity. Epsilon means that is the permittivity. So permittivity means that is related with the capacitance. So we can finally conclude that Jc, the current can be splitted up into two current terms, current density terms, which is known as the conduction current density as well as the displacement current density. So this will be known as the modified Ampere's law. So if you are deriving the equation means this Ampere's law, in the Ampere's law H dot dl equal to I. But if you are using both, if conductance, resistance as well as the capacitance effect is there means this equation won't hold good. So only we are going for the modified Ampere's law. And in the Poynting theorem as well as in the Maxwell's equation as well as in the Poynting theorem, we are using the modified Ampere's law, which is using the current, conduction current as well as the displacement current density, and we are deriving the equation. And in the final also, in the Poynting theorem, after deriving the Poynting theorem also, we are getting the conduction, the current density, not the current value, it is the current density value, that is the E dot J value. This is the Poynting theorem. This is the Poynting theorem. Poynting theorem actually states that when a wave is radiating, there is a transfer of energy from one end to the another with a predictable amount of ohmic losses. That is actually stated by Poynting theorem, and this is known as the Poynting vector. Why this is known as the Poynting vector means because both E as well as the H are the vector fields. So Poynting vector, which is equal to E cross H, and the unit of Poynting vector is watt per meter square. This is the all the things about the Poynting theorem, Poynting vector, and which was derived from the Maxwell's fourth equation. Actually the base is from the Maxwell's fourth equation, that is the modified Ampere's law. From that only we are deriving the Poynting theorem, and this is the final, the Poynting vector. So the basic things in the electromagnetic theory, we have to know about the divergence theorem as well as the Stokes theorem. Why we are using divergence theorem and the Stokes theorem? Because in electromagnetic theory we are using the dot product as well as the cross product. The cross product as well as the dot product. So dot product, in the dot product, if you want to convert a surface integral into volume integral, we are using the divergence theorem. So surface integral can be converted into volume integral with the help of the divergence operator, that is the del operator. So del dot d dot ds, which is equal to the volume integral of rho dot dv, that is the divergence theorem. And if you see means the Stokes theorem. Similarly, mainly in the electromagnetic theory we are having three integrals. One is the line integral, then the surface integral, and the third part will be the volume integral. And similarly, if you consider the charges, so charge density, electric field means we are talking about the charges, and for magnetic field means we are talking about the current. So if you are having electric field, So electric field means so we are having the two terms electric field as well as the magnetic field. So some of the terms related with the electric field are, in the electric field we are having the electric flux density. Similarly, if you are considering the magnetic field, in the magnetic field we are having the magnetic flux density. So the next thing we are having electric field intensity. Similarly, in the magnetic field we are having the magnetic field intensity. So the next thing we can write D, which is equal to epsilon E, which we are using in the Poynting theorem as well as in the Maxwell's equation. Then B value, which is equal to mu into H. Mu means that is permeability and epsilon means that is permittivity. These things are very important because in the last section Poynting theorem is concentrating on wave. Before coming to the wave, we have to know what is the electric field and the magnetic field separately, because wave is having both electric field as well as the magnetic field. So initially we are having electric field, then we have to go through the magnetic field, and finally we are clubbing the electric field and the magnetic field. That is the electromagnetic waves or the electromagnetic field theory. All the terms are coming. So separately, what are all the terms related with electric field? The same terms with different notations we are using in the magnetic field. So if D is here means here we are having D, the same term. Here electric flux density, here we are having the magnetic flux density. Then here electric field intensity, magnetic field intensity. Then D equal to epsilon into E. Similarly, B equal to mu into H. Here permittivity, here the term will be permeability. Then here if you are having the electric field, the term related is the capacitance. The effect related is the capacitance. If you are using magnetic field, the term related is the inductance. So here we are having we can derive the equations for inductance for any objects, a long transmission line. For capacitance means we have to derive the capacitance for a core. Like that we have to separately study the electric field and the magnetic field. So if you are having a clear idea about electric field and the magnetic field, then it will be easier to study the wave equation where we are clubbing the electric field as well as the magnetic field. Then again here permittivity, permeability, capacitance and the inductance value. So in the final, wave means what we are calling that as electromagnetic field. So what is electromagnetic field? So wave means it is actually radiating. So radiating the energy, that is the wave, which is having both the electric field as well as the magnetic field. So we are having the combined effect of electric field and the magnetic field. There we are having both the permeability as well as the permittivity. Then capacitance effect is there, inductance effect is there. We have to know about the flux density, then the magnetic flux density, magnetic field intensity, then electric field intensity, and with this only we are deriving the final, the Poynting theorem, which is Poynting theorem is meant for wave equation. So if you see the Poynting theorem, there we are having both the electric field as well as the magnetic field. So again also we are having many mathematical manipulations we are doing in this wave equations. So we have to know about what is divergence theorem and what is a Stokes theorem. So we are if you see the divergence theorem, and as already I mentioned, we are having three types of integrals: line integral, surface integral and the volume integral. So if any one of the integral is there, and if you want to convert the term into the other part, that is if you are having a surface integral and if you want to convert that surface to volume integral, with the help of the del operator we can use the divergence theorem. So divergence theorem means it tells the relation about the surface integral and the volume integral with the help of the del operator. Similarly, if you take the Stokes theorem means it tells the relation between the line integral as well as the surface integral with the help of the curl, with the help of the operator curl. Here we are using the del operator and the dot product. So here we are having del dot D. So the dot product is there. Dot product means that is the divergence theorem which gives the explanation about, which gives the relation about the surface integral as well as the volume integral. So if you see the Stokes theorem, it gives the relation between the line integral and the surface integral with the help of the curl, with the help of the operator curl. So cross is the cross is the operator. So curl is the operator here. So if you see the divergence theorem means we are having the dot operator. If the Stokes theorem is there means we are having the cross product. And mainly if you see means most of the terms, the equation, if you see the Maxwell's equation, the first equation according to the Gauss law equation, Gauss law for electric field. So del dot D which is equal to rho. Actually it is from the Gauss law for electric field. Then if you see del dot B which is equal to 0. So in this what we can judge is, if a magnetic field is there, definitely there will be the cross product. So del cross B means, or del cross H which is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T, that is the modified Ampere's law. Similarly if you are having del cross E means which is equal to minus dou B divided by dou T, that is the Maxwell's equation. So he separates the equation, two things are for electric field and two things for magnetic field, and with that equation only he derived the Poynting theorem can be derived by Poynter, a scientist Poynting in the year 1884 he derived the equation for Poynting vector. So today we saw about the what is Maxwell's equation, from where we are getting the, from where Maxwell derived the equation. Actually it is the basic equations from Ampere's law, then Faraday's law, then Gauss law for both electric as well as the magnetic field. So from that equations only Maxwell derived the equation, and we name that equation as Maxwell 1, 2, 3 and the fourth equation. With that equation and with the help of the modified Ampere's law, we are taking the equation and derive the, and Poynting, a scientist, derive the equation, derive the theorem, that is the Poynting theorem, and finally we are concluding the Poynting vector, that P vector equal to E cross H vector. So and I explained what is the difference between the electric field and the magnetic field, so that you can while studying you can segregate the things and study by separating electric field, what are all the terms coming under the electric field and what are all the terms coming under the magnetic field, so that it can be helpful for studying the electromagnetic wave equation, because in the wave equation we are having both the electric as well as the magnetic field. So this video will be useful for studying the Maxwell's equation as well as the basic things like divergence theorem, Stokes theorem, and the basic terms in the electric field and the magnetic field, so that you can easily derive the equation for a wave. Actually Poynting theorem is a basic equation, Poynting vector is a basic equation which describes both the electric field as well as the magnetic field. Thank you.